Last year, over 60% of students failed JAMB Chemistry because of these exact questions. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to beat them easily. The first question we have here says, which subatomic particle has a negative charge and is located outside the nucleus? A. Proton, B. Neutron, C. Electron, and D. Nucleon. Before we answer this question and give a detailed explanation, if you're coming across this channel for the first time, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share with your friends. The correct answer to this question is option C, electron. Now, an atom consists of a central nucleus containing positively charged protons and uncharged neutrons. The electron is a subatomic particle that carries a negative charge and exists in regions called shells or clouds outside the nucleus. So, because opposite charges attract, the negative electrons are held in their position by the electrical pull from the positive nucleus. So, the correct answer here is option C, the electron. Now, this is question 2. It says, which of these elements is a noble gas? Which of these elements is a noble gas? Option A, oxygen, B, nitrogen, C, neon, and D, chlorine. Which of these elements is a noble gas? Now, in the periodic table, noble gases are elements characterized by having a full octet, that is 8 valence electrons in their outermost shell, meaning their outermost shell are complete, having 8 electrons. The correct answer to this question is option C, neon. Neon having a chemical symbol of Ne. It is located in group 18 of the periodic table, which is the family of noble gases. These elements are characterized, like I said earlier, by having a full octet, that is 8 valence electrons in their outermost shell, making them extremely stable and chemically inert. Other common examples of noble gases include the helium, argon, krypton, and so on. So the elements here that is a noble gas is option C, neon. Question 3 happens to be a very simple question, but people often forget this question in the exam hall. It says, what is the pH value of a neutral solution? What is the pH value of a neutral solution? Option A, 4, B, 7, C, 9, and D, 12. What is the pH value of a neutral solution? Now, the pH scale measures the acidity or alkalinity of a solution ranging from 0 to 14. A pH of 7 is considered neutral because it represents a balance where the concentration of hydrogen's ion is exactly equal to the concentration of hydroxide ions as seen in pure water. Now, values below 7 are considered acidic, while values above 7 are basic, otherwise known as alkaline. So the pH value of a neutral solution is 7. That is option B. The correct option here is option B, 7. The fourth question we have is on chemical bonding, electron sharing. So it says, which type of bond is formed when electrons are shared between two atoms? Which type of bond is formed when electrons are shared between two atoms? Option A, ionic bond, B, covalent bond, C, metallic bond, and D, hydrogen bond. Now, the correct option to this question is option B, covalent bond. That is the type of bond that is formed when electrons are shared between two atoms. A covalent bond is formed when two atoms, usually non-metallic, share one or more pairs of electrons to achieve a stable electronic configuration. That is what covalent bond is all about. We have metallic bond, we have ionic bond, and we have hydrogen bond. They are all wrong. The ionic bond involves the complete transfer of electrons from one atom to another, resulting in charged ions that attract each other. So some persons might mistakenly pick ionic bond instead of covalent bond, but the correct answer to this question is option B, covalent bond. The next question we have here is question 5 and is on gas test, carbon dioxide to be precise. It says, Which gas is known to turn lime water, which is a calcium hydroxide solution, milky? Which gas is known to turn lime water milky? Option A, oxygen. B, hydrogen. C, nitrogen. And D, carbon dioxide. Oh, I've already told you guys the answer. The correct option to this question is option D, carbon dioxide. The standard chemical test for carbon dioxide, which is CO2, involves passing through lime water, that is aqueous calcium hydroxide. The gas reacts with the lime water to form calcium carbonate, which is a white solid that does not dissolve in water. It is a precipitate. It causes the solution to appear milky or cloudy. That's what happens in this particular gas test, where carbon dioxide is passed through lime water and the gas itself reacts with the lime water to form a white precipitate, a white solid, making the solution to appear milky or cloudy. Now we'll move on to question 6. It says the process of a substance converting directly from gas to solid without becoming a liquid is called dash. This is in changes, phase change. So it says the process of a substance converting directly from a liquid to a solid without becoming a liquid is called dash. A, sublimation. B, fission. C, deposition. And D, evaporation. The correct option here is option C, deposition. Now, under exam conditions, some persons might be tensed, and due to the exam pressure, they might end up picking option A, sublimation, forgetting that option A is the reverse process. It is converting solid directly to gas and not gas directly to solid. So what is deposition? Deposition is a phase change in which a substance changes directly from a gas to a solid without passing through the liquid phase. The reverse process is called sublimation, where solid changes directly to gas. Common example of deposition include the formation of frost in a cold surface or snow in carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. So these are examples of deposition. We'll move on to the next question. The next question is on organic chemistry and it's a question everybody will want to know. Now, if you JAMB it for 2026, you might not escape this question. You must definitely see this question in your exam. It says, in the production of soap, which is saponification, which of the following is obtained as a byproduct? In the production of soap, which is saponification, which of the following is obtained as a byproduct? A, methanol. B, ethanol. C, glycerol. And D, propanol. Now, for us to be able to answer this question, we need to know the meaning of the word saponification. Now, saponification is the chemical reaction used to make soap by reacting fat or oil with a strong base like sodium hydroxide. That is what saponification is all about. It is the chemical reaction used to make soap by reacting fat or oil with a strong base like sodium hydroxide. Very simple. Now, during this process, the fat molecules are broken down into soap, which is the salt of a fatty acid, and glycerol, also known as glycerin, as the primary byproduct. So the correct answer here is option C, glycerol. That is the byproduct obtained from the production of soap. Question 8 is a very interesting question. It says, a catalyst increases the rate of a chemical reaction primarily by A, increasing the pressure, B, increasing the temperature, C, lowering the activation energy, and D, increasing the volume. Now, we all know what a catalyst is. A catalyst is a substance that speeds up a chemical reaction without being consumed itself or used up in the process. It works by providing an alternative reaction pathway that has a lower activation energy. And don't forget, activation energy is the minimum energy required for molecules to react upon colliding. Now, by lowering this activation energy or this energy barrier, more reactant molecules have enough energy to successfully turn into products at a given temperature. So the correct option here is option C, lowering the activation energy. That is how a catalyst increase the rate of chemical reaction. Now let's look at question 9. It's a very technical question, but it's very simple when you know the answer. It says, which gas is primarily responsible for the prevention of oxidation in the filaments of light bulbs? Which gas is primarily responsible for the prevention of oxidation in the filaments of light bulbs? Option A, argon; B, hydrogen; C, oxygen; and D, chlorine. Now, the correct option to this question is option A, argon. Okay, argon is used in incandescent light bulbs because it is a noble gas and chemically inert. Now, when you fill bulbs with argon, it prevents the tungsten filament from reacting with oxygen, leading to oxidation and burning out at the high temperature required to produce light. Now, this significantly increases or extends the lifespan of the bulb compared to a bulb that is filled with just air. So noble gas like argon is primarily used for preventing oxidation in the filaments of light bulbs. The correct option remains option A, argon. The final question for today, question 10, says, which method is most suitable for separating suspended particles from a liquid? Option A, filtration; B, fractional distillation; C, crystallization; and D, chromatography. Now, leave the answer in the comment section. If you have watched this video to this point, leave the answer in this comment section. If you understood this, chemistry is no longer your problem in JAMB. Practice these questions again and you'll be shocked at your score. In my next video, I'll solve one of the most feared JAMB chemistry topics. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned and see you in the next video.